Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Matthew Cohn from conesgraphix, and today I have a ton of amazing to show to you guys today. We are going to have a real life whiteboard session. I always show you guys the whiteboard that I use to create all my content ideas and stuff like that, but I am going to give you guys all the last 12 months of knowledge and information I've obtained through running my business and through working with the other companies. We are going to learn today in 5 simple steps. All right, guys?
Ooh, Flyman ran.
Conesgraphix.
All right, guys, so for the last 12 months, I've been working with a lot of companies. And the biggest thing and biggest concern that I have for the companies that I've been helping out and working with is social media management, right? So today, again, I'm going to walk you guys through 5 steps of what my process is for social media management, from coming up with the ideas to filming the content, to editing the content, to getting all the revisions done, to actually posting. A lot of companies, what I run into when they start, that first thing is brainstorming and coming up with the ideas, is that they don't have a team to amass the amount of ideas and the correct ideas that they need for their target audience. So first, guys, I will start with actually finding your target audience, right? Why are you making content in the first place? And who are you making content for is your target audience based on the product or services that you have. So that's the first thing that you need to figure out, right? That also entails with coming up with that target audience. That also entails ideas, coming up with brainstorming with your team, and coming up with an actual action plan. So when you get these ideas and you get this content, what are the next steps that you need to do and actually amass and put it out to the world, right? So next, we're going to go over filming, scheduling, that type of content for filming, and also editing, and we call that post-production, right? So once you have your attack plan, right, you have your target audience, you're figuring out who you need to actually make content for, that's your potential buyers, right?
Matt, I need your help growing my social media audience.
All right, guys, if you need help growing your social media audience, make sure you text 602-390-7002. Once again, it's 602-390-7002. So again, in that first step, we came up with that action plan. So now that we get a chance to film what we need, we'll actually have all the content that is going to showcase that our target audience needs for our product or service, right? So it's important for scheduling and making sure you get the correct people that you need involved for this film. So whether that's your videographer, whether that's your editor that needs to be there, whether you got a lighting person or a second AD to handle all the other camera stuff, make sure when you're sending out that invite or you're sending out that email or that group text message, all parties are involved. You keep that organized, get a person that's really organized to get all that shit for you together, and then make sure everybody is included. Right, so once after we start filming, right, we get all the shots that we need, make sure we got the location set, all that fun stuff, right? We make sure we get the files over safely to the correct person, right, that it's going to be editing. So it could be the videographer that's going to be editing. You could have a whole separate editor that's going to be editing things, but that's the next step, is getting everything edited. So make sure you find a editor that edits in a specific type of tone or range that you're trying to convey to your audience, right? So if the editor is specifically doing training videos or they're specifically doing reels, make sure you find that editor that's actually going to be there for what you need them for, right? That's very, very important, is finding the right editor, right? So after the editor gets everything edited for you, right, we always do a follow-up message for revisions, right? That's very, very important, because you don't want to put out any product that's not enticing to your audience or something that you don't like, right? So it's important to make sure we follow up with revisions from our editor and the person that's going to be taking care of the content, to make sure we are visually on point for what we want to do with that business content, okay? After revisions is getting the content out to the platforms, right? So what are our platforms? We have IG, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we got LinkedIn, You got Twitter, right? Depending on how many times a post you do a day, you want to make sure you're getting all that content out to the social media platform. So that is the biggest reason why I see a lot of content not getting out to platforms, because the content will get to the business owner, right? But it's that next step, and that's where I'm seeing 75 to 80% of the time where the disconnect comes in from the owner of the company to getting the content out in the world. It's they don't have a manager that's managing all their social media content to able to actually get it pushed out, because that's the biggest hurdle block that I've seen, is that owner getting the content out to the masses, whether they don't like it or they don't think it's ready for the audience that they're trying to obtain. It's a mental block in their head that prevents them from getting it out, because that business owner honestly should be making sales and making connections. The business owner should not be worried about posting content. They should have somebody that they have trusted to be able to handle and push that content out and get it approved from the editors and have that same eye and same vision as the owner of the business to be able to push the content out. So if you guys get a chance, man, definitely look for a social media manager. Having a social media manager just changed the game, and it allows you as a business owner to reach on to newer, bigger, better things that you could be doing with your time. Because social media is such a time-consuming thing to have to do, especially if you push out a lot of content.
Matt, I need your help growing my social media audience.
All right, guys, if you need help growing your social media audience, make sure you text 602-390-7002. Once again, it's 602-390-7002. Again, having to post on social media is very, very time consuming, especially over those platforms that we went over, to be able to get it to the masses, especially for how much content that you put out. And finally, for me, is once we get that content out to the masses, it's the follow-up, right? So once you get the content out to the masses, you're making sure it's getting to your target audience, seeing if you get any likes, seeing if you get any comments, seeing if you did have a call to action in your comments or in your content, then you're able to respond to those call to actions, which is your follow-up. Especially if you got somebody liking, sharing, you want to let them know like, hey, I appreciate you for doing that, or hey, thanks for sharing, hey, thanks for liking, right? That follow-up creates a whole nother conversation for your potential client to lead down a funnel to your product or service, right? So again, for the past 12 months, these 5 steps have been very, very, very successful to that business owner that wants to get their content out to the business. Get their content out to the world, guys. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, this is Matthew Cone from conesgraphix, and guys, we have an awesome, awesome, awesome course coming to you about social media in depth. We're going to go over editing. We're going to go over filming. We're going to go over the different type of social media platforms. But guys, again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Peace.